All right, y'all, we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to be seeing for these two Google searches, does it have BSS for each Google search, yes or no? So we're here in the GBC universe, taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More about that, pin post, whatever, home post. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So if we're rising, we're probably getting a mix of all different intent people, high intent people, mid intent people, low intent people. If we're falling, we're missing some groups somewhere. Now, here we're focusing on BSS way on the left. We're focused on the highest intent people. People searching for boudoir photo shoot, social search, searching on social media, like literally typing in, searching, and Google search as well. And way over on the right, we got our other brand talking about BLCS. That other brand is Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where where Facebook ads to the lowest intent people, but there's the largest amount of them. Right now with that, we're only working with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ads. But we're here for BSS. So boudoir search sameness is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. 0 slots on page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. We're basically dead already, kind of out of the gate at that point, because we already know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we want to get the bulk of the market here, the 80%, approximately 80%. That's the bulk. We want to be in front of them by being on page 1 of Google. But even 1 slot is not enough, because 1 slot, if every other boudoir photographer has 1 slot, that means there's us and 9 other boudoir photographers on there. We aren't looking anything amazing because we only show up once, same as everyone else. So buyers are just going to click down the list, open everyone in a new tab, contact everyone, get price quotes, just because it's easier to click that than to click the next page button. And we already know approximately 80% of people never go to page 2. Now we also have a kind of our own GBC minimum where we want to hit 3 out of 10 on page 1. More on that later. Now 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. Extremely common, but it's not normal to have that few number of page 1 Google slots. That means there's deeper root causes at play. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. Those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the false belief of page 1 equality, which basically nobody knows about. So market saturation, that's when someone gets a new iPhone, they're throwing out their Google My Business profile, throwing out their website saying they now do boudoir photo shoots, or they get a new camera and they're posting them on Facebook groups saying they now shoot boudoir. And also during COVID, people losing their jobs, can't work, became boudoir photographers as well. It's kind of an anomaly. Causing market saturation, which caused a big glut of boudoir photographers to enter the market because people gotta earn money. Now, kind of the most dangerous one though is the false belief of page 1 equality. So the false belief of page 1 equality is what I've seen as the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses, far and above anything else. And it's basically page 1 equality, which never had a name before, but people just kind of auto accepted it, where it's like, oh yeah, I got 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and there's some market saturation. All right, it pushed me by 1 slot. Now, I'm on page 2, and hopefully they turn their website off so I can maybe go back onto page 1, but page 2, okay. Just these things happen, and blah blah blah. It's like it's normal to be kicked off page 1, go to page 2, and it's normal to not have as many first page links on Google as we want that we can take whenever we want. And because people believe this page 1 equality, or more likely they accept it without even knowing it exists, they do not try to solve it because they don't know that this false barrier, this false box that they believe is real, or they don't even see that they're in a box, is actually not real at all, and they can solve it, and they don't have to believe in it because it's not real anyways. And I know it's not real because I myself went from 0 out of 10 slots on page 1 of Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in 10 days. So we'll see more about that in a little bit. But this false belief of page 1 equality is kind of, I lose my page 1 slots on Google. It is what it is. The number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. So we got our universe built in here on the right. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. Number one killer I've seen of boudoir photography businesses. But we now know that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S-cubed methodology. It's a proprietary methodology that we developed, and I'll be showing you the results we got for ourselves using it. And this is the only solution I have ever seen that can successfully outcompete and render market saturation as a non-issue. And I feel it's better than ads, Google or Facebook ads, because there's no momentum associated with them. With those, you stop spending, they stop showing. With this S-cubed methodology has its own momentum where it continues on. So it has momentum. Not infinite momentum, but it has its own momentum. And it's the only thing I've seen that allows us to take as many page 1 slots on Google as we want, rendering market saturation effectively kind of a non-issue. And kind of thinking of it this way, if we're in Boise, Idaho, and there's we're a boudoir photographer, and there's 999,999 other boudoir photographers. So a million boudoir photographers in the market. Everyone's got their own website to try to, and trying to rank page 1 on Google. But if we crank S-cubed methodology like up to the max, and let's say on all social search, we're ranked, the first 300 slots for the highest intent keyword for people looking for a boudoir photo shoot in our city. And that flows to Google, so we're ranked the first 300 slots on Google as well. They'll flow back to us in our social profiles or our website. Then we actually, if anyone's searching for a boudoir photo shoot in our city, they're basically unable to even find any competitors because they ain't scrolling to slot 301. I mean, there's 10 organic slots per Google page. If we're occupying 300, they got to go to page 31 to basically see any of our competitors with Google organic search. So if they can't find any of our competitors, how are they going to buy from them? So even if there are a million, but 999,999 competitors in our boudoir, our city competing against us, if we dominate where the highest intent people are searching, our business will go along fine. Now, once treated with S-cubed methodology, we have page 1 visibility. We also get a secondary bonus of kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1, effectively making them invisible. So again, we know that once we go to page 2, or our competing boudoir photographer goes to page 2, approximately 80% or approximately 20% will go there. 80% will never even see them because approximately 80% of Google searches stay on page 1. So there's kind of a extra bonus of ranking more slots page 1 on Google. Now, page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So we're no longer 0-1 slots. G slots is, that's okay. Here we recommend GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 slots. Page 1 on Google, because 1 slot now, 0 slots now, 1 slot now, we look the same as everyone else. 2 slots, we still kind of look the same as everyone else, but also there's a chance someone else has 2 slots. But if we got 3 slots or more, we're definitely out competing the people with 1 slot because they only see their name once. People with 2 slots, that's kind of rare. So, but we'll also be out competing them. But with 3 slots, you're gonna be like, man, kind of subconsciously, why does Google recommend these people so much? They must be good. Subconscious, it's all there. We also know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So, got our full micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation, the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. That's fine. We now have the solution. S cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Also, for those that want to dominate, we'll keep going. 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 slots. We'll just keep building that momentum. So now my results doing this, I wanted to rank, basically I want to dominate the keyword BLCS boudoir. So I employed S cubed methodology and go down to organic. So Instagram, organic slot 1, me. Or slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I got 9 out of 10 slots, page 1, organic, Google. Went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. And so anyone searching for this keyword, who are they coming to? Who are they going to click on? Obviously me, the dude with 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google. So this is a super great result using S cubed methodology. So now we're back to the meat. Let's see this boudoir photography business. If these 2 Google searches, see if see if this business has BSS, yes or no for the local search and the city search. All right, there we go. So we're going to organic. Let's see. All right, here we go. Yep, that's one. We got one. So this is the local search, Brentwood, Tennessee. All right, so we got one. We got, let's see. Now, we only got one. We got 1 out of 10 organic slots, page 1 on Google. So all right, we definitely have BSS for the local search. Now let's check our city search. Same thing. So now we're looking at Nashville, Tennessee. All right. Man, was that 10? 1, 2. I guess the discussion took up a huge chunk. Dang. Dude, we're at 0 out of 10 on Nashville. So we got boudoir search statements for both. Or this boudoir photography business has boudoir search statements for both Google searches. But now we got something that can fix that, S cubed methodology. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer and you want to, so you've done the local searches, you've done your city search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city. You're seeing you got 0 slots, page 1 on Google, either one or both of them, or you're not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google for one or both of them. And you've accepted the belief, the false belief of page 1 equality is exactly that, a false belief. And you understand now that we can actually take as many page 1 slots on Google search as we want. And you see an S cubed methodology is the only way, the only path for you to get you there. And you've been waiting for something like S cubed methodology for a while. And you're liking the initial benefits, more slots, page 1 on Google. And you really like kicking competing boudoir photographers off page 1 on Google, making them invisible to approximately 80% of Google searches. You really like that one. Those initial benefits, sure. You understand the market saturation? Yeah. New gear, new peeps, boudoir photographers entering all the time, getting more and more difficult all the time. And you're seeing that, you're actually looking ahead and you're seeing AI taking more and more people's jobs. And the last time that happened with COVID, people losing jobs, well, people still had to earn money. So they were actually forced to become boudoir photographers because, everyone's got a superpowered smartphone with a superpowered camera. So kind of the next natural thing, become boudoir photographer. And you're seeing that's going to happen in a much bigger wave over the, as AI takes more and more people's jobs. So not only do you need these slots on Google, you actually need like so many backup links that Google wants to rank on page 1 for you, but there's not enough room, so they're ranking you page 2, 3, and 4. Like basically you need to fortify your positions on page 1 with like so many backup links that no current competing boudoir photographer ever has any chance to rank on page 1, nor any future competing boudoir photographer who came in because AI took their job can ever have a chance of ranking on page 1. and kind of like fortifying your position, kind of like fortifying the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, the lowest, because the city is actually below sea level. And you're seeing SQ methodology is the only thing that can help you fortify your position with so many backup links that are needed. You're also understanding that the SQ methodology, we're building up basically invisible thematic keyword columns around kind of attached to your brand name, business name, website name, social handles names, kind of like this whole, keyword cluster ecosystem in the back end of AI Mindshare. And every day we successfully execute SQ methodology and add to those invisible thematic keyword columns that we're actually increasing the probability we show up here in AI Overview, the most premium placement out there that we cannot pay for, and Google can recommend us here. We're also increasing the probability every single day of executing SQ methodology that AI search recommends us. So it's ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, and Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Increased probability showing up in those searches every single day. We successfully execute SQ methodology. And last time I searched for boudoir photographer in a city, it was with ChatGPT and it displayed 3. And I went and manually searched on Google and Facebook, and dude, there were like 60. So you're saying, and I was like, man, we gotta get part of these slots any way possible. So you're actually wanting to all those feature benefits as well as estimated 8x faster growing a large well-known brand, to further insulate yourself from market saturation. And you also understand that my current plan is to work with only one boudoir photographer per city. And as a result, you're seeing you can get all these benefits, and most importantly, build up so much kind of like back-end AI mindshare momentum with all these invisible thematic keyword columns attached to your brand and AI mindshare space, that you are able to build up a gap so large that basically no current competing boudoir photographer can ever reach you, nor any future competing boudoir photographer coming from AI, because AI took their job, can ever catch you. So you decided to be a first mover in your city. Take advantage of this, because the converse, where a competing boudoir photographer actually signs on with me first in your same city, means we're going to be kicking you off page 1, maybe even page 2. You'll be resigned to page 3 or deeper. And we'll be fortifying them on page 1, so your chance of getting back up page 1 will be close to 0. And the boudoir photographers come from AI taking their jobs, their normal jobs, and they have become boudoir photographers. That's always going to keep increasing, so it may push you off deeper into further and further pages. And we'll actually be building up a massive gap of AI mindshare, back-end AI mindshare with all these invisible thematic keyword columns that will probably be too large for you to overcome. And for you to overcome that, you'd have to actually rederive SQ methodology by yourself. You'd have to derive it the first time, and you would never feel 100% confident you've derived it correctly the first time. Then you'd have to execute it every single day, same as us. But if you did all that, you'd simply be maintaining the gap, me and your competitor, that large gap, me and your competitor would have already built up against you. So in order to close that gap and kind of pull that invisible thematic keyword column back-end AI mindshare towards you away from us, you'd probably have to double or triple our execution every single day. And it'll be difficult to put in that effort because, again, you're not going to feel 100% confident you've even derived the methodology correctly in the first place. And dude, who even has 80 days to do or 80 hours in a day to do all this stuff? So you're seeing all that and you're like, screw this. I'm actually going to be the first mover in my city, get the advantage, and lock out all my competitors from using this technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital's not currently accepting new patients. But when our DMs do open, then shoot us a DM and we will see if you qualify for utilizing S-cubed methodology.